What is up, guys? Today I've got my hands on the keys of a Peugeot 308 to see what it's like to drive, to test out the gadgets inside it, and to decide whether we should buy a slightly older car for our first car. Let's go. Okay, sitting in it for the first time, it's quite a stylish, definitely not small, sized family hatchback. Let's bear in mind this car is 8 years old, and look at some of the gadgets that it's got. A flip-up screen. If I turn the engine on, we've also got independent climate control, so you can set one side of the car to a different temperature to the other side of the car. Now, if you're going to go for a slightly older car because you want to buy it outright and not lease or finance it, it's really important that it's got Bluetooth. In the world that we live in nowadays, we need to stay connected to everybody else and everything else. So a car without Bluetooth means that you have to pull over every time you want to make a phone call, especially if you use your phone for work. That's really annoying. Not only that, you can listen to music in the car. If you don't have Bluetooth, you're limited to either tape, CD, or the radio. Who lives in a world where they still use CDs or tapes? I don't know, I don't. Having a car with Bluetooth so I can run my Spotify through the speakers is super important to me. The other thing this car can do that's super important to me is cruise control. Cruise control keeps your speed at a constant level. So instead of having to keep looking down at the speedo to make sure that you're still at 60 on the dual carriageway, the car will keep you at 60 so you can concentrate on what's happening ahead. Okay, let's talk about some of the weird things inside this car. What? Oh! Yeah, that's gonna get annoying after a while. The handbrake looks like it's something out of Lord of the Rings, Gandalf's staff. The gears are in a really nice place, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, reverses right and down. How do we get to reverse? Oh, it's really simple. We just hit reverse and it accesses. What was that beep? Parking sensors, decent. For a car that's 8 years old, 2013 Peugeot 308, that's at the front of the technology for its time. How much adjustment can we do with the seats? Okay, it doesn't go super far forward because it's catching on the center console right there. But it goes far enough back for me. I can't drive like that. I need it 2 notches forward like that. I'm 5'11", so if you were 6 foot, 6'1" or 2, maybe even 6'3", you'd be comfortable in this car. Okay, I've just noticed something. I want to show you this design flaw. Huge design flaw from Peugeot. I've got a cup of coffee because I want a cup of coffee while I'm driving. The cup of coffee has gone in the cup holder. Let's put it in that one because it's more accessible. My passenger also wants a cup of coffee because they want a cup of coffee too. I've been driving for a while. That doesn't fit. That doesn't fit. That's a huge design flaw from Peugeot. Buying a car on finance or leasing isn't for everybody. A car like this is going to set you back a cool £2,000 to £5,000. So it's a really realistic option to be able to save up and afford something like this after you pass your driving test. It's pretty affordable to run as well because being diesel, it doesn't drink very much fuel. And to tax it for a whole year is only £20. £20. £20 for a year's tax. To drive, as with most slightly older cars, it feels a little bit stiff and quite rigid. You have to work quite hard with the steering wheel. I can imagine maneuvers in this car would be a little bit of a workout. Because it's diesel, the engine is pretty loud and it doesn't make that nice race car sound that you're thinking of. See if you can hear it. It doesn't have any fancy hill hold technology. The gears are pretty smooth. It's really nice to hold this gear lever actually, and it's in a good place. It does feel like quite a nice place to sit. I can see loads out of the windows and look how much space there is inside this car. It's massive inside. Having said that it's big and spacious on the inside though, I wouldn't say that it feels big to drive. It feels like a small hatchback still, which is ideal if it's your first car. This car's not super speedy. It's the 1.6 litre diesel Peugeot 308. So it's not going to be setting any lap records around the Nürburgring, but it's definitely not slow. Overall, the car's not as easy and enjoyable to drive as a really smooth newer car with lots of driver assists. But if you're looking at an entry-level family-sized hatchback, this one's at a decent price, it's cheap to run, it's got a decent engine, and it doesn't look bad from the outside. It's a good option. If I just passed my test and I came and pulled up to your house in this, would you be impressed?
Nah.
Oh.